Hello students, today we are going to cover a topic from the subject of mechanical vibrations and the name of the topic is lateral vibrations of a string. So let me adjust the color of the ink. Yes. So it's a topic from continuous systems and the name of the topic, I repeat, it is lateral vibrations of a string. So this is our today's topic. So let's say we have a string and suppose this is our y-axis and this is our x-axis. So here we write x and y. So let's suppose this is our string or thread, we can say, like this, and it is vibrating in up and down direction. So due to transverse vibrations, there is some kind of tension T occurring in the string. Okay, due to vibrations, there is some kind of pull in the string that creates a tension of T amount. So we have drawn T on both sides. So let's say we have this element of the thread from this point to this point, and suppose that this element is starting at a distance of x horizontally, and there is a distance of y in a vertical direction. Okay, so after a distance of dx, one more distance here, this element suppose have a length of dx, and here this distance is dx, we can say dx. So on the other end there is a distance which is y, already y, plus this, plus change of y with respect to x into dx. So the elements we have considered is of length dx, and one side it is having a distance of y, on the other side it is having a distance of y plus curly y upon curly x into dx. So suppose with the horizontal, this tension makes an angle of theta 1 on the left side, and with the horizontal, this tension makes an angle of theta 2 on the right side. So you know that if this angle is theta 1, so we also can say that this angle is also theta 1, this angle. Okay, so this angle is also theta 1. So if this angle is theta 1, if this angle is theta 2, we can say that theta 2 is theta 1 plus curly theta 1 by curly x into dx, similar to the relation that we have for y. Okay, change of angle theta with respect to x, we can also write theta 2 in this way. So these are some small things that you have to understand from the starting point of view. uh, we will assume the very small angle theta, very small angle we will assume throughout the derivation, very small theta or theta 1, we can say. So if the theta 1 is very small, we know that tangent of theta will be equal to theta. Okay, we will take theta 1 equal to tangent of theta 1, both will be equal, we assume. And also we assume that tension T, this tension T is constant, it is not T1 and T2. We assume that the tension T remains constant throughout the length because angle theta is very small. So these are some assumptions. Also we will take the mass of the string, mass of string we will take it as rho per unit length. rho per unit length will be the mass of the string. We will assume means for 1 unit of length the mass of the string is rho. We have assumed the mass of the string as rho per unit length. So this is the basic things first of all to start the derivation, and then we will go for further analysis. Now you can see that in this triangle, which is a very small triangle which I am pointing out, in this triangle we can apply a formula of tan theta 1. So if we write tan theta 1, it will be opposite side this side, which you know that it is curly y upon curly x into dx. So curly y upon curly x into dx divided by, this is horizontal distance, we will assume as dx. So dx will be cancelled out. So we will have tan theta 1 is equal to curly y upon curly x. So this thing we have derived from this small triangle. This we will use further in our derivation. Okay. So sorry for background noise. So we have to resolve tension along y-axis. Tension along y-axis. So we will resolve the tensions along y-axis. So you can see that this tension T will make two components. One is vertical, other one is horizontal. Okay. So this vertical component will be T sine theta 2. Horizontal component will be T cos theta 2, which I do not write here. And on the other hand, this tension T will also make two components. One is vertical and other is horizontal. So this component will be T sine theta 1 and horizontal component will be T cos theta 1, which I don't write. We will resolve tension along y-axis. That's why I am only taking sine theta components. So we will have one is T sine theta 2 and other is T sine theta 1 as the tensions along y-axis, T sine theta 2 and T sine theta 1. We will take two tensions and resolve it. So the difference of tension is equal to the force and force is equal to mass into acceleration. So we will put the values of theta 2 here. T sine theta 2 we have written. Theta 2 is, we have already written theta 1 plus curly theta 1 by curly x into dx. So theta 1 plus curly theta 1 by curly x into dx. This is the value of theta 2 minus T sine theta 1. Mass we have assumed rho per unit length, but the length is dx. Length of the element is dx and acceleration is double derivative of displacement with respect to time. Y is displacement. Okay, or distance you can say. So for very small theta, we know that theta is very small. So sine theta will be equal to theta. So we will write it as eliminate sine theta. From this equation, we will not write sine theta. We will only write theta 1. Okay, so we will multiply t theta 1, t theta 1 here. They will be cancelled. So we are left with t curly theta 1 by curly x into dx is equal to rho dx curly square y upon curly t square. So dx and dx will be cancelled out. So we are left with t upon rho curly theta 1 by curly x is equal to curly square y upon curly t square. So this is the equation we have got after resolving the tensions, but we know that it is y. So we will also convert this theta into y. As we have derived in the first step that tan theta 1 is equal to curly y upon curly x, means theta 1 is equal to curly y upon curly x. So we will put theta here, theta 1 here, curly y upon curly x. So it is t upon rho curly upon curly x into curly y upon curly x is equal to curly square y upon curly t square, and we can write t upon rho curly square y upon curly x square is equal to curly square y upon curly t square. So this equation we have got, and as we know that tension T is constant, mass is constant, so we can assume T upon rho as a constant which is a square. So we assume a constant for T upon rho which is a square. So we'll put the value of T upon rho a square into curly square y upon curly x square is equal to curly square y upon curly t square. So this thing, now we can also write it as this. We are going to take a on the right side. So this is the equation, differential equation of second order, which is called wave equation. Wave equation. So we have to find the solution of this wave equation. So as we know that to find the solution, what we have to do, as we know that y is a function of x and t. So y is a function of x and t. We can say that y is a function of x and t. So y is a function of x and t. So you can see y is a function of x and y is a function of t. So just put the value of y in these places, here and here. So after differentiation of y, which is x and t, capital X and t, so we are left with, if we differentiate here, put the value here, we will have d square x upon dx square, because here the partial derivative, so it will only take x here and t will be constant for it, is equal to 1 upon a square. Again it will, now it here it is a function of t, so it will take t but assume x as a constant here, so d square t upon dt square. So this thing we will get after putting the value y is equal to x into t. Okay, so we will rearrange a little. We will take x terms on one side and t terms on the other side. We will take it as a square upon x dx, d square x upon dx square is equal to d square t upon dt square. We have taken x on left side and t on right side. We have forgotten to write 1 upon t, which is present in the equation. So here, as you know that this is an equation and this is an equation. Okay, so the left hand side is a function of x alone and right hand side is a function of t alone. So we put it equal to some constant. We put it equal to some constant which is minus p square. Let's say we have taken a constant which is minus p square. So we will write two equations there, one for the x and one for the t. So let's take first term and the third term. So here it is a square upon x and d square x upon dx square. D square x upon dx square is equal to minus p square. One is this, and other one we can take it as it is 1 by t. So 1 by t d square t upon dt square is equal to minus p square. So we have divided, we have made two equations, one for the x and other for the y. So we will rearrange the first equation. It is d square x upon dx square plus p upon a whole square into x is equal to 0. So this is the equation which we have got from this one. And here also we will rearrange d square t upon dt square plus tp square is equal to 0. So this is the equation. So here we have two equations. This equation for the x function, second equation for the t function. As we know that these equations are similar to each other, and here we have solution for the first equation, that is x is equal to a cos p by ax plus b sine p by ax. So this is the solution for the second order differential equation for x, and here again the solution will be uh, c cos, constant is a and b are constant, c and d will be constant. uh, it is pt plus d sine pt. So now we have written y y is equal to x into t. So you will find the value of y by multiplying x and t. So y, which is a function of x and t, is multiplication of x and t equation. So it is a cos p upon a x plus b sine p upon a x multiplied with c cos pt plus d sine pt. So now, as we know that it is multiple number of degree of freedom continuous system, so we will write n here, and we will write n from 1 to infinite, because we know that for a continuous degree of freedom system, the number of degree of freedom system are infinite. So this is the characteristic equation that we have derived from lateral vibration of string. So this is the derivation you should understand. Now there can be many cases that the one side of the string is fixed, other side is free. According to that, you have to apply the boundary conditions, which we will discuss in upcoming videos. Again, this is the basic and characteristic equation which every time you need to derive. After that, you have to apply some boundary conditions according to the given numerical. So numericals we will cover in upcoming videos. We will take some of the examples that when the string is free from both ends, one end is fixed and other is free, and or we can say that one end and other end are also fixed. So we will do some of the numericals for this derivation. So that's it for this video. Hope you understand, and everything which you have any question you can comment, and thank you so much.